Hey, Spectrum or do my slides. It's me, Speckle here. Coming to a video. In this video, I am finally doing, well, not really finally, but I am doing my next episode of Tensura OCs, and all of these are for friends of mine. So, yeah. So let's roll intro, let's get into this video, and let's go. Like and subscribe if you enjoy this video. If y'all do remember, the last one's name, Record Iron Legion, and I'm going to be talking about the next people in the files I have. I can do more of these because they have quite a bit of information on them, but it's not as much as Exxon. That guy was a powerhouse. The first one is Annie, or Amy, Quirlevia. Race hybrid. People call them a dark elf, but in reality for her, she's a hybrid of a elf and a demonoid. A violet demonoid, to be more accurate. Her skills are Magical Area, Dark Forest, Ultimate Skill, and Mystical Weapon, Dark Blade, Ultimate Skill. These two blades are, well, these two ultimate skills are extremely powerful in their own regards. They're mostly due to her demon heritage, but with her own ambition thrown in. With Magical Area, Dark Forest, she can control the plant life and environment within a 50-mile radius of her. It's a ridiculously, like, I'm talking in the center of it, in a 50-degree radius. That means it's only half. So 100 miles in diameter in total. It's and it's a circle area, so it's a very, very powerful area. But anyways, this ability allows her to control the plant life and wildlife and fauna of said area. She can also do this on a much smaller scale, and using it at 100 miles in diameter, its full power. She can mostly create and summon, well, she can more or less, not really summon, but bring animals towards her by summoning some plants. These plants have magical properties that when eaten, they will allow her to control said animal. Well, until she releases her grip on them. Now, for the second ultimate skill, Mystical Weapon, Dark Blade. She can summon any blade you can think of. Either a Buster Blade or, albeit, a regular old sword. She mostly holds her own sword on her at all times. She can also imbue these weapons with negative effects. Her personal favorite is poison and acid hybrid. A combination of acid and poison. It's a very nasty thing, and it damages pretty much anything. And coupled with that with her Magical Area Dark Forest ability, she is a force to be reckoned with, no doubt. Now, for the second one. The second one is, can't really tell you the gender of this one. Some people say it's a male, some people say they are a female. Rather, in reality, they're neither and both of them. It's hard to pinpoint. But name is Chow. Race, Dragonoid. They're relative to Millennium Nava. Not same father, but more like a descendant. It's hard to say, but maybe the magicules that Malene let off during her rampage caused her to caused one of her one of Chow's ancestors to mutate into a dragonoid, and the dragonoid heritage is passed down from the family line. But when she was born and growing up, her families were blacksmiths, and using their dragonute or dragonoid abilities, they were very, very efficient weapon forgers. She's always been a fascination with weapons, but not making them, although she does enjoy making a good few weapons. This gave birth to a unique skill of hers, known as Weapons Master. This thing allowed her to summon any weapon she wanted, but soon enough, she unlocked her true potential as Dragonoid, and this caused her unique skill Weapon Master to evolve into the ultimate skill, God of Weapons, Hephaestus. This allows her to summon a mobile forge pretty much anywhere and forge a new weapon right then and there and imbue it with any properties she wants. She has a limit of 3 properties. Sometimes with a very high quality materials and a very high quality blade afterwards, it has the ability to have at least 10 or 15 effects on it. It's a very overpowered ultimate skill in my opinion. Although it still is really interesting for her secondary. I'm going to say there, it's hard to say because they do look like a girl. But they have a masculine voice that shifts sometimes into a feminine voice. Their second skill is Formers. Formers is, how do you put, a rather interesting skill. It's based off of the universal shapeshift extra skill. Or was that Reamer's personal unique skill? Well, it's based off the universal shapeshift ability. Pretty much they can alter their own body any way they want. They can't really create other limbs from other creatures, but they can make their appearance look similar to it and have similar properties. But they mostly use this ability to go invisible. Let's move on to the next one. The next one is a rather interesting inhabitant of the Draw Forest, near Ramses' Labyrinth at all times, and this guy is an utter powerhouse in his own regards. Name Zhong. Race Superior Lightning Spirit. The only reason why this guy is able to survive is because of 2 reasons. One, he's been named so he has a semi-spiritual body. It's more spiritual than physical. And 2, just the high magic kills leaking out from Ramses' Labyrinth, from Valdora, and all the other guards of the labyrinth. He possesses 2 unique skills: Reality Formation and Lightning Formation. Lightning Formation was a unique skill he earned after being named Zhong. He already had a very simple control over lightning ability, but pretty much this amped it up to stupid proportions. He can, with this skill, he can temporarily or permanently create his own weaponry using lightning. He can force them to conduct into a solid form, and it's just it's powerful, but not as powerful as lightning control. Lightning manipulation allows you to control lightning and where it can go and all that. With formation, you can control how it's shaped. With control, though, you can turn it into a physical weapon and change the properties of it, like to turn into a short sword that actually looks like a short sword, but it has lightning properties when activated. It's a very powerful ability. Now, he can always desummon these, and with formation, you can desummon them and summon them as long as you want, but with control, you can actually make the weapon and give it to someone else. And then they will actually gain the ability to summon and desummon it as long as they want. Now with reality formation though, this is what gives him the power of a control. Reality formation allows the user to create anything into reality, and it's limited to physical objects, no life forms. But what it can do is also make very small magical or elemental properties to one item. And with lightning formation, he can pretty much merge these two together to make a really powerful, it's almost more powerful than a control weapon. Now, let's move on to the next one. The next and final one of today is by far one of the most interesting people I've ever met. And I'm in part in Sector, so I should have known about these people. But their name is Verzon. That's their name. Race and Sector, they're a dragonfly. Skill, Alt Vision. It's a unique skill. Alt Vision is a rather interesting unique skill. This unique skill allows the user to pretty much make the person see hallucinations. But what they can also do is make these hallucinations solid. Pretty much making them into solid objects. It's a unique skill bordering on an ultimate skill, if you would put it that way. It's just that powerful. Although it appears to be fairly weak, it is really powerful. By appearance alone, you would get the feeling that this is an underwhelming unique skill, but in reality, it's a very powerful one. The wings on Verzon were permanently shifted to remnants of which one does. The top ones create a diamond-like pattern, which can actually act like mirrors, and the bottom ones turn into swirl-like patterns for hypnotic trance. And put these two together, you get a rather tripping and really interesting combination for unique skills. The reason why Verzon got this skill is because they had the one to disorient their opponents and make them think they're going insane. They can already do that with their speed because they're part dragon. They are based off of Dragonfly and Selectar. They can move at ridiculous speeds. They're almost up there with Abito in speed. They are a very fast individual. Now, as for the limitations of this unique skill, is if the target knows about the unique skill, they can easily break through. And also, if they have a mental attack resistance, it's going to be a little harder or impossible to get through. A little harder is if they are weaker than the user. But just like every other Insectar, Verzon doesn't always have to rely on their unique skill. They must use this as a distraction to disorient their opponents when they come in for the attack using their exoskeleton, which is rather light, but is half as powerful as Zigion's, which is extremely dense and powerful. This stuff is made of God steel. So you can take a guess of what happens. They're almost as fast as Abito. They can disorient people, and their exoskeleton is half as strong as Zigion's. So they are really powerful. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's video because I'm afraid that's all the time we got for today. Until next time, subscribe to join the Spikers Army or do my slimes. Goodbye and peace out, everyone.